Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, welcome. We're the Garza twins. I'm Carly.
And I'm Britta.
If you like this video and want to see more of our content, please subscribe before you leave. Today we're going to be doing an updated nude lipsticks video for you. Nude lipsticks are our jam. We love a classic. We're only talking about like bullet lipsticks, classic lipsticks here. We've found a bunch that we just been loving in the past like year or so. So we want to do an updated video for you all. So let's get started. Okay, and we're going to do hand swatches, like inserts, so you guys can see each one, but we're each wearing one as well. So the one I'm wearing today is the Patrick Ta Beauty Oshi Single Lipstick. This is his... Don't these lipsticks have a name?
Matte Suede Lipsticks.
Matte Suede Lipsticks. So the packaging is gorgeous. This to me is like a perfect, like neutral, nude, beigey lipstick. Don't you think? I feel like it might even be like the lightest lipstick that I have. I'm wearing the MAC Drip Down lip liner underneath. It's the like my go-to lip liner, but I think this is like the most universally flattering nude lipstick that I found, and the formula is really nice. It's really similar to like the ELDRIDGE, which are over here. We're going to talk about those as well, where it has like a velvety, smooth like finish to it, but this one is probably a little more matte than Lisa. It does dry down fairly matte, but very comfortable. Doesn't make your lips feel dry. So I love the formula, love the color. I know these are pricey, but definitely worth it in my opinion. I feel like if you can find a good nude lipstick, like you might as well invest in it.
Yeah, this one is really universal, and we did a whole
video on this formula, so we'll leave that down below. If we did that for any of these, I don't think we did it for anything else.
No, I think it was just these.
Yeah, so we'll leave that video link down below so you can watch that too. Okay, the one that I am wearing is MAC Yash.
This one's so good.
This, I was just looking back at our monthly favorites from this year, because we're kind of starting to prep our end of year favorites video.
Yeah.
And we actually bought this in January.
Really?
Before, you know, everything happened in 2020. We were so excited about our new lipstick. And we heard about this from the Anna edit. We love Anna, and we always love her makeup recommendations. And she wears this in like, or she did for a while, in like every Instagram post, every video. And she said it was like a great neutral, again, just kind of like a nude that works for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And this one is even more brown tone than the Patrick one.
Yeah, definitely.
We should swatch
more
them
yellow
all
next to each other too.
Okay, more yellow undertones. Yeah, it's more yellow, but without being too warm. Like, it's not too orangey. Like we said, we'll insert swatches, and I'm wearing it right now. It kind of just has like a nice like peach undertone without being too warm or too cool.
Okay, yeah.
And the MAC formula, this is like the classic matte formula, not the retro matte, so it's really comfortable. Like, one of the most comfortable lipsticks.
Yeah.
I think out of all of these.
Yeah.
But you can like blot it down to make it look pretty matte, but when it first goes on, it does look like it has a little bit of a sheen. Like, it's like a comfort matte, basically. Definitely one of my faves out of all the ones we're going to talk about.
It would be so hard to pick a favorite.
I know. I could pick one though.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Okay, next up is another MAC lipstick. This is MAC Impulsive, and this is their Powder Kiss formula. So it's a little bit more matte than their original matte formula.
Definitely.
But it's super unique. You can go on. It does have like a powder dry down, and so it has like really nice longevity. I feel like it lasts on the lips all day. This I gravitate towards a lot. It's even peachier and a little bit lighter than Yash. Like Carly said, we can swatch them all next to each other. I feel like it's way more brown. I think some people would classify this as a brown lipstick, but we consider it like a brown yellow. They're really similar. When I first bought this, I don't know if you guys remember, but I talked about it in like a monthly phase, weekly phase. It was like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, and I described it as a yellow brown.
Yeah,
and I think
got a lot of yellow.
True. Yeah. And then Britta picked it up after I wore it nonstop. I want to go, a little bit more into the formula. I've always said this feels like a matte lip balm. Like, I feel like you apply it and it's so thin, like you could do it without a mirror. Like, it just feels like a lip balm, but it really does look really matte on your lips.
It does.
Yeah, the formula is really interesting, but I love this color. I feel like I've reached for this so often because I think it's so flattering, and it's a little bit different than like your typical nude. One of you guys actually asked us to do this video because you said that we have good taste in nude lipstick, which was so nice. But I feel like we do find really good like neutral nudes. Like, we do not like pinky nudes. Carly did include one. I included one. But I've never worn a pinky nude that I think looks good on with my skin tone and like my complexion. Yeah. And I think a lot of you guys are probably in the same boat. Like, you're kind of sick of all the pinky nudes on the market and want recommendations for alternatives.
So we hope this is helpful.
Yeah, what we look for mostly are like brown, beige, and peach undertones, I'd say. We don't like pink, like Britta said. We don't like them to be too cool. We went through that phase. You guys were probably with us. But we don't like that anymore. We kind of lean a little bit warm, I'd say, but more on like the peach, like the yellow undertones. Not the pink.
Yeah.
So that's where we kind of are with nude lipsticks, what we look for. Okay, since Britta mentioned it, I'll talk about the pinky nude I have in this lineup. And full disclosure, I had never tried a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick until I bought this, and I fully bought it because of the name and the packaging. So it's JK Magic, so she made it for like JK Rowling, and we love Harry Potter, so I was like, oh, that's so nice. And then the packaging is like this beautiful, like starry night sky. It's just so pretty. So I bought it during the Sephora sale. Was it last year or maybe the year before?
It must have been last year.
Yeah, maybe last year. These are also refillable, which I thought was cool, but I don't think I'll ever buy a refill. And then I ended up really liking the shade, and even though it is more pink toned than any of the nude lipsticks we're gonna talk about, it still has this really like clean neutral quality to it, where every time I wear it, if I pair it with like a slightly deeper lip liner, it makes my lips look really like full without looking too pink. Like we can't stand pinky nudes, and even though this has like, it gives enough life to my lips with the pink, but it doesn't make them look like, oh, she's wearing like a pink lipstick, if that makes sense. I hope this makes sense. Like we said, we'll swatch it so you can kind of see, but I just really like the tone. Like it's just more neutral than I expected. It does have a little bit of brown in there to ground it. It doesn't have that yellow undertone we like, I will say that. It's just very neutral. So yeah, I really like it. I ended up really loving the shade, so I wanted to include it. And I really like the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick formula. This is like her classic, I actually don't know what it's called, but it's like her classic formula. Like it's like a creamy lipstick, like a standard, you know, like bullet lipstick. And I really like how it feels on the lips because it's not as matte as any of the ones we're going to talk about. So this is the most comfortable, I'd say. But although I really do think MAC lipsticks are comfortable too. Okay, and I think the most affordable one on our list is this Juvia's Place lipstick in the shade Lady. I spoke about this pretty recently, and I did a full blog post, so I'll link the blog post down below. But I'd never tried anything by this brand, but I saw this lipstick on Ulta, and I was like, ooh, I need to try that. And it's part of like the chocolate nudes range, and it's definitely like the peachiest, or like the most yellow. No, it's not peachy. Yeah, the most. It kind of looks like a deep terracotta nude.
I mean, it looks similar to this, just way more yellow.
Yeah, it's the most yellow undertoned out of all of them. But I love this shade. It's like the perfect fall nude because it does look like a terracotta nude on the lips, I would say. Or like a deep peachy nude on the lips.
Hold it up a bit more.
Oh, okay.
Make sure you guys can see.
Yeah, and like I said, I did a full blog post on this. I actually ended up loving this formula. I don't know if is it a matte lipstick? I think it's a matte lipstick. Oh yeah, made in Italy. And it's really, really comfortable. It's probably the creamiest. It actually reminds me the most of the matte MAC lipsticks. It's like very creamy on application. It's a comfort matte. It doesn't dry down super, super matte like this Patrick Ta one that I'm wearing. But the color is perfect. I love the formula. I love the triangle bullet. It makes it very precise. Yeah, the bullet shape is really similar to Charlotte Tilbury's like square shape. Yeah, yeah, it is pretty similar. The packaging's nice. It's not like my preferred packaging. Everything else we have is like black or gold, I feel like, but it's really cute. I feel like it's true to their brand. And for like the price, I feel like you're getting an amazing quality lipstick. So I had to mention that one. Okay, our favorite lipstick formula is saved for last.
Yeah.
And my favorite nude is in here. I don't know if Britta agrees. It's probably mine, but I can't really wear it. Yeah. But we just had an idea, so. Yeah. So we'll talk about our favorite and then go into the new one. So our favorite shade of her line so far.
What did you even say them?
Oh, well, they're the Lisa Eldridge Velvet lipsticks? Yeah,
velvet matte lipsticks?
No, velvet lipsticks. I just wrote a blog post today about the new shades that we picked up. So that'll probably be on our blog when this goes up, so I'll link it down below. These are so special. I wish they were sold in Sephora so more people could experience them. Yeah. But you gotta really log on every year to get them. But they're so amazing. These are a super matte formula, but they still somehow are so comfortable on the lips, and they diffuse your lip lines like nothing else.
Yeah, well,
Sorry to interrupt. In the blog post, I described them. I think that they diffuse so well because such a thin layer goes on.
Yeah, that's
so you
true.
could build it up if you wanted, but you don't really need to because it's still like a lot of pigment being deposited,
definitely.
but it's so thin that like it doesn't make your lips look aged.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of powder in this to make it look so matte. A lot of pigment, a lot of powder. But yeah, it's just really shocking. I think that every time I put one of these on, we have quite a few now. I have like 4 or 5 different shades from her, and every time I put one on, even like the red shades, like my lips just look so smooth.
Yeah.
And it's just really, really surprising. I don't really have any formulas. Like we said, the Patrick Ta is really similar to this, but I think these are just like a slightly, you know, elevated.
Yeah.
And the bullet itself looks like velvet, which is such a nice touch.
You have mine.
Yeah. And it looks like a destroyed finger of sorts.
Yeah.
It's just, we've been through this, but I have not had an issue with the new shades that we got, but this is my second Velvet Fawn. They sent me a replacement, and it broke from the bullet, and it fell out, so like it just got really gross. But we just had an idea. I'm gonna put it in a jar and like just use it with the lip brush because they are so expensive that I don't want to repurchase if I don't need to. So I'll make it work. Yeah, but just the best formula, and this Velvet Fawn shade is so perfect because again, it's like very neutral, but also still has like that little peach element to it, where like there's some yellow present, there's some pink present, but it's like very neutral and beautiful. And she has this shade on models with like every skin tone on her website. You can see how it looks, and I think she really does her colors so well so that they work with so many different skin tones. Like she really is important, obviously. Yeah, she puts so much thought into them. And then the new one we just picked up from her, we still consider this a nude. It's the darkest nude, but we also wanted to include it because we think all skin tones could really use this one. It's the shade Velvet Affair. So online, like I think she described it as like a brown nude. She said like a caramely nude. Okay, yeah, and so I thought it was actually gonna be lighter and more like. It is lighter when you wear it. Like we always wear with a dark lip liner. Yeah, I'm just saying on the hands they'll be able to see. Yeah, it's kind of like, we should swatch these next to each other too, because it's kind of like the darker and slightly more like a red brown, like big sister of Velvet Fawn. Yeah. So Velvet Affair, yeah, it's just a bit deeper. I think those like kind of like red pink undertones come out a bit more, but it still has a lot of like brown in it. I don't know. Again, it's such a unique shade. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I've been wearing it a lot. Did you talk about this one in your blog post too? Yeah, I did a blog post on this one and Velvet Dragon because those were the 2 new shades that we purchased this year. So I wanted to we wanted to swatch them for you guys and then just talk more about the formula because we never actually have done like a dedicated video or anything on them. We've been trying to do more like blog reviews. We talked about that. So you'll see this on there too. Yeah, so we'll link her post down below so you can read more about the formula, but it's our top notch out of all of these. Yes. Okay, I have an honorable mention that it felt wrong not to mention it, even though sadly this has been discontinued, but I think I know why. So this is the Pat McGrath, this is her Luxe Trance formula that all the shades have been discontinued, and it's the shade Labeja. I've talked about this so many times, and I stopped wearing it in a lot of videos because every time I wear it, I get questions what I'm wearing because it is the most like unique, peachy, deep nude shade. I feel like it is to this. Yeah, it's just. Oh, this one's way more yellow. Yeah, this is like a true like peach, but it's deep. It's like I don't even know how to describe it, but I've had a lot of friends wear this too, and I feel like it looks good on everyone. And I've said this before, but I actually never liked this formula that much, which I think is why she discontinued it. To me, it was way too thick. I love her matte formula, but this just felt always like a little bit heavy on my lips, even though it was supposed to be like her creamy, comfortable formula. Like I never felt like it was like weightless enough. But I just always powered through because I love the shade so much. So I hope she comes out with this shade in like a new revised formula. And if she does, you guys should get it because I just love this shade, so I wanted to mention it just in case she brings it back in another format. But unfortunately, you can't buy it any longer. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this video. We love lipsticks. I feel like this was so fun for us to go through our collection and pull our favorites, even though they were very obvious to us because I wear these like every time I reach for
Yeah.
a lipstick, I feel like. So we hope that we helped guide you in the right direction if you're looking for a nude lipstick. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.